Hello friends. Welcome to the Factory of Wisdom. Enjoy watching. Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy, and is not moved by him. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. Prohibit the taking of omens, and do away with superstitious doubts. Then, until death itself comes, no calamity need be feared. According to my assessment, even if you have many more troops than others, how can that help you to victory? It is 10,000 times cheaper to pay the best spies lavishly than even a tiny army poorly. So a military force has no constant formation, water has no constant shape. The ability to gain victory by changing and adapting according to the opponent is called genius. If you follow the enemy's shifts and changes, you can always find a way to win. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not, will be victorious. O divine art of subtlety and secrecy! Through you we learn to be invisible, through you inaudible, and hence we can hold the enemy's fate in our hands. Winning isn't enough. The acme of all skill is to defeat your enemy before taking the field. One who speaks deferentially but increases his preparations will advance. One who speaks belligerently and advances hastily will retreat. The value of time, that is of being a little ahead of your opponent, often provides greater advantage than superior numbers or greater resources. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. Thus, though I have heard of successful military operations that were clumsy but swift, cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes but few calculations beforehand. Probe him and learn where his strength is abundant and where deficient. The art of war is self-explanatory. Subtle and insubstantial, the expert leaves no trace. Divinely mysterious, he is inaudible. Thus he is master of his enemy's fate. When you are ignorant of the enemy but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. Thus those skilled in war subdue the enemy's army without battle. They conquer by strategy. Every battle is won before it is fought. The dance of battle is always played to the same impatient rhythm. What begins in a surge of violent motion is always reduced to the perfectly still. Unhappy is the fate of one who tries to win his battles and succeed in his attacks without cultivating the spirit of enterprise, for the result is waste of time and general stagnation. It is the business of a general to be quiet and thus ensure secrecy, upright and just, and thus maintain order. If an enemy has alliances, the problem is grave and the enemy's position strong. If he has no alliances, the problem is minor and the enemy's position weak. To a surrounded enemy, you must leave a way of escape. What is of the greatest importance in war is extraordinary speed. One cannot afford to neglect opportunity. Attack where he is unprepared, sally forth when he does not expect you. Nothing is more difficult than the art of maneuvering for advantageous positions. In the midst of difficulties, we are always ready to seize an advantage. We may extricate ourselves from misfortune. The good fighter is able to secure himself against defeat, but cannot make certain of defeating the enemy. Those whose upper and lower ranks have the same desire are victorious. All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. Act after having made assessments. The one who first knows the measure of far and near wins. This is the rule of armed struggle. Where the army is, prices are high. When prices rise, the wealth of the people is exhausted. If our soldiers are not overburdened with money, it is not because they have a distaste for riches. If their lives are not unduly long, it is not because they are disinclined to longevity. Therefore, a victorious army first wins and then seeks battle. A defeated army first battles and then seeks victory. Apparent confusion is a product of good order, apparent cowardice, of courage, apparent weakness, of strength. There are not more than 5 musical notes, yet the combinations of these 5 give rise to more melodies than can ever be heard. Of old, the expert in battle would first make himself invincible and then wait for his enemy to expose his vulnerability. Ground which can be freely traversed by both sides is called accessible. We cannot enter into alliances until we are acquainted with the designs of our neighbors. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country. Rapidity is the essence of war. Take advantage of the enemy's unreadiness. Make your way by unexpected routes and attack unguarded spots. Bestow rewards without respect to customary practice. Publish orders without respect to precedent. Thus you may employ the entire army as you would one man. If the enemy opens the door, you must race in. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. Fierce language and pretentious advances are signs that the enemy is about to retreat. He who exercises no forethought but makes light of his opponents is sure to be captured by them. If you are situated at a great distance from the enemy, and the strength of the 2 armies is equal, it is not easy to provoke a battle, and fighting will be to your disadvantage. When one treats people with benevolence, justice, and righteousness, and reposes confidence in them, the army will be united in mind, and all will be happy to serve their leaders. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare there are no constant conditions. Rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him. Hence the saying, one may know how to conquer without being able to do it. Those skilled in attack move as from above the 9-fold heavens. Thus they are capable both of protecting themselves and of gaining complete victory. To subdue an enemy without fighting is the greatest of skills. If the enemy has occupied them before you, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away. The control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers. It is the business of a general to be serene and inscrutable, impartial and self-controlled. Weak leadership can wreck the soundest strategy. Forceful execution of even a poor plan can often bring victory. Thank you for watching. I will be glad to see you again.